That's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness! And everyone finishes it!
Yeah, we're just as good as men, or better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
Yeah. Welcome back to MLTT Major League Table Tennis week number 10. This is day number 3, the final day of action, coming to you live from Winter Haven, Florida. And we are about to get ready for the action. Are you guys ready? All right, well then let's welcome in the officials for the matchup today. A warm welcome for Wendy Pan and Jovana Knežević. And the first team to come in is the number 4 team at the moment with 166 points. Open the windows and let in the breeze. Welcome the Chicago Wind! And as the Chicago Wind roll in with the clouds, get ready, the number 3 team in the league, but they've been at the top of the food chain. You've been waiting for them, you've been ready. Show them who owns this swamp. Get on your feet and make some noise for your very own Florida Crocs! Chomp, 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 chomp. And as the crowd goes wild, get ready. Now that all the warriors are here, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
Yeah. No, it doesn't work when I do it.
It really doesn't.
But the Crocodiles are out and about here in Winter Haven, Florida. There are Gators and there are Crocs. I am planning a deep dive into the key differences between the two, so stick around for that. We also got the final match of the weekend. It's the Chicago Wind and the Florida Crocs. Both these teams have had their disappointing performances through the first 2 days, and this is a really massive match for both teams, but especially for Florida, who came into this weekend with a 13-point advantage over the Revolution. But after the Princeton's 3rd straight win, including a victory over the Gold Rush, Florida's now 20 points back. There are only 3 regular season matches remaining in the season after today. And you think about Florida and Chicago, both these teams are 6-8 against everybody else in the league, but against each other, Florida is 4-0. And that's the difference in the standings. The Crocs have had the wins number. Chicago trying to change that today, and Florida really needs to keep it rolling against Chicago.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting after the last match when Coach Matthias Harbison was talking about confidence. And for Chicago Wind, regardless of the standings, going into the last match of the season, they need some confidence. So this match is a big one for them.
Yeah, going to be fascinating as the next couple of hours cap this weekend. The lineup features Sasha Hanin and Daniel Gorak in the first singles spot. Then we'll see Daniele Pinto against Benjamin Brossier. Pinto won the only matchup between those two, 3-0. Both the 3rd and 4th singles matchups are matchups we haven't seen before in MLTT, Matt. Gonzalez against Wong and Duran and Kaku. And obviously Gorak and Ekholm have been very successful in doubles against the Wind this season. So really Sasha Hanin and Daniel Gorak will be an important match to try and set the tone. Gorak won the only meeting 2-1 back in October. So it's been a while since they've gone head-to-head on the table.
Yeah, and Sasha's been playing quite well this weekend, I feel. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, Gorak's a player right now that he needs to get a solid win under his belt. I think he needs to hit the reset button and try and get things together.
Gorak struggled against Enzo yesterday, losing 3 games to none, only scoring 16 points across the 3 games. On Friday in the matchup against Princeton, Gorak played Jinshi and Wong. He did take 2 out of 3 over Wong in that matchup. Sasha Hanin got 1 game off Jishan Liang yesterday. Jishan was really the stand-up performer of the weekend for the Princeton Revolution. Hanin also took 2 out of 3 from Roman Lawrence. So an interesting matchup to get this final match of the weekend started. Really coming down the home stretch. Every point is critical. Hanin serves first.
1-0.
If the points are going to be like that, get your popcorn and enjoy.
Would love a popcorn right now. Great. Good idea, Evan. He actually has popcorn.
I brought it just for you.
1-2.
This feels like a setup.
Well, it's going to cost you $1,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Gorak just taking the timing of the backhands in the last couple of opportunities a little bit early.
Nicely done there by Gorak. He's back within 1. How would you compare these 2 players stylistically in terms of what they want to do to the other?
I think fairly similar in terms of aggressive pace. Gorak again trying to go for that big backhand counter. Yeah, I think because they play at quite similar pace, we are probably going to see a lot of these open rallies. I think Gorak's probably better off trying to look for a chance to turn things around with the forehand if he's backed off the table. We've seen 3 backhand errors to end longer rallies. Florida Crocs leading man. Time he strikes, backhand makes its mark.
Nicely done by Gorak.
5-4.
Probably one of the first points of this weekend where we've really seen him just look totally in control of the table.
Yeah, sending his opponent scrambling rather than the reverse. Down 5-2. Gorak has evened this opening game up 5 points apiece. Four straight points for Gorak. He's got one more serve here. Trying to keep it rolling. With other ideas. So you look at those standings, and Florida's got a healthy edge. But if we were to removed the matchups against everybody else, or I should say that they've had the same success against everybody else, but against one another, Florida's gone 4-0 against Chicago.
It's always interesting to see the singles differential. Florida really not having been as strong a singles performer as other teams here on the East.
Let.
And there was an interesting tweak to the Florida lineup that you may have noticed if you're really locked in. No Ojo Onaolapo for Florida today. He's got a knee issue. So the schedule of rotations would have had Brossier sitting out today, Ojo in the lineup. There's Ojo on the bench, but he will not play today. Brossier plays for the 3rd straight day instead. Oh, missed opportunity there for Haneen reaching over the table. A little off balance. He'd like it back though.
Gorak drops that ball a little high.
8-4.
I mean, looking for the opportunity to finish with the forehand flick there, but sends it long. There's Gorak with a forehand counter. Certainly wouldn't hurt him too much to try and work in some more of those.
Big chole from Gorak. He's on an 8-3 run right now to set up game point. 11-8 for Gorak in game 1. That's what the doctor ordered for the Florida Crocs. Number 1 player gets their team on the board first, closing that game on a 9-3 run. What'd you see from Gorak there that we maybe haven't seen as much of in recent weeks?
Bit of a spark, I think, that's been a little bit missing. I think just confidence and the ability to control the table a bit more. I mean, you also have to think about what this means for the Florida team. They've kind of been missing that guiding star, I guess.
Yep. Wow.
I mean, in a match as important as this, now that the team's moved down into 3rd position, maybe Gorak feels some responsibility to try and bring the team back and lead by example.
Gorak had won 12 of the previous 15 points before that ball into the net there. Gets Hanin on the board in game 2. And you're feeling the energy right now from Gorak. It's emanating from his entire being. Again, something that's been conspicuously missing.
2-4.
There's the commish and the number 1 pick. Mentioned where in the world is Carmen Sandiego earlier. The sequel to that is where in the arena is Flint Lane. Sometimes he's at the administrative table, sometimes he's in the stands. He was getting a game in between matches here on the practice table.
Look at that little pop-up on screen. Production team's got you covered.
I mean, I'm confused and appreciative all at the same time.
6-3.
Just to check, do you want me to start singing now, or you good?
No, I haven't changed my mind on that one.
Okay, just keep me posted.
Yeah. Maybe maybe during the Kansas weekend, while I'm at home on my couch, see how Sean O'Neill handles the sing-along.
We have not heard from Sean since my fantasy team
You're taking off.
overtook his in the standings for the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't look actually.
There was a lot of chirping and texts, and he messaged literally everybody at the facility.
He did.
Saying, go ask Evan how it's going.
Yeah.
How's it going now, Sean?
It's not going well for me, I can tell you that. I had a great start to the weekend, but had a significant nosedive with actually almost half of my team have been benched.
Thing is, I'm not sure how far ahead of Sean I am right now, because you can only see the top 50, and, well, Sean's not.
I don't think I'm in. I'm probably not in it anymore either.
But that's typical.
Okay. All right. Always a roller coaster we go through across these weekends.
And again, I don't want to, you know, it's not over till it's over. My goal wasn't to be ahead after 5 team matches. So, job's not done.
Evan Lepler playing the long game. I'm playing the long game. So, season standings, Evan. That's where we're at.
An opening here for Hanin with 2 serves on his paddle. Try to tie this game back up. Big point there.
Yeah, it's a really difficult angle to play also from the step around forehand when the ball's kind of being played into your body.
Shot of Daniel's wife sitting in the front row, as she often does.
Ten,
10-7 lead for Gorak.
And Gorak would have been really glad that that came down on the side of the net that it did.
That could have been the first ball to land off a camera onto the table for a winner.
11.
Not to be for Sasha Hanin, and Gorak with a skip to his step.
Chicago yellow card.
He's got a 2-0 lead.
And the
Yellow
squad, you
card
guys
for
must be feeling really
Hanin
good
for
right now.
his drop
How
of
many
the
are we?
paddle
1,
onto
2,
the
3, 4,
table.
5, 6, 7. You guys could be M close.
Missed it live. Love to see a replay. But Gorak, regardless, has a 2-0 lead. That's not a whole lot to earn a yellow there, Matt Hetherington, if I'm being honest with you. That's pretty soft.
I've seen worse not be carded, but
He dropped the paddle onto the table from about 6 inches above the table. He didn't throw it. He didn't spike it. He didn't swear. What are we doing here?
1-0.
Have you ever gotten a yellow card intentionally? Like you've said to yourself, I need to get a yellow to change the momentum here?
I've never been carded ever, which might come as a shock to you.
If only I had a card in my pocket right now. That would change.
I'm nervous now because you had the popcorn, so.
1-2.
Good. Oh, great stuff from Daniel Gorak.
This is
Win to serve.
Gorak reminiscent of the early weekends of the season.
Three, 2.
A 3-0 sweep for Gorak would be huge for the Crocs, and it would be gargantuan for Sean O'Neill.
Let's.
Couple of late pickups on those 2 shots from Hanin. Didn't quite get the bounce he was looking for on the second, I think. Gorak kind of fished it up from under the table.
Four, 3. Five, 3.
5-3 lead now here in game 3 for Gorak. Up next, Daniele Pinto against Benjamin Brossier.
3, 5.
Should be fun.
Three, 6.
No matter what Hanin tries to do, Gorak's been a step ahead of him.
Yeah, very different player than the one we saw yesterday up against Enzo.
7, 3.
sense of urgency perhaps today. No yellow card there for Gorak. And watch after this point. He dropped it onto the table about 3 inches closer than Hanin did. Too good.
4-9.
This has been exactly what Florida was looking
11,
for.
4.
Gorak delivers 3 big points at the start of this Winter Haven finale. The Crocs bringing the bite in the opening singles match, courtesy of Daniel Gorak. 33-19, he takes it in aggregate over Sasha Hanin.
Justin, nice to meet you.
Dan Gorak has put the headset on. Congratulations, an impressive 3-0 sweep. Was it a different mentality that you took the table with today, or was it just feeling more efficient for you on the table today?
Today, all the weekend, I feel like I play well. Maybe yesterday I didn't win, but I felt like this is my game which I should play against Enzo. Of course, he's the best player in the league, and it's always difficult to play against him. But today, I do exactly the same, maybe more a little bit positive. And I won 3-0, I'm very happy.
It's got to feel good for you to get the 3-0 win under your belt. I wanted to ask a little bit about outside of MLTT. Obviously, you're in Florida. I mean, there's not too many players for you to practice with at your level, and also you're coaching a lot. How do you go about preparing for these matches? Is there anything that you can really do that helps you get ready for these matches apart from showing up here to practice with the team?
Every month, Florida is getting better and better in table tennis. And of course, I know my knowledge, how I should prepare for the best way, how I should play in the best shape. And always I try my best. If I'm in good shape, my body are in good shape, then I feel always good.
You were down 5-2 in the opening game, and after that you kind of gained control, and it felt like you never relinquished it. What changed in that first game that enabled you to gain confidence and just start rolling?
I think I changed the serve. I served that serve very short. He just receive short, and I do exactly the same, and he mistake. I think I was a little bit more aggressive, and in the while I was also more calm.
All right, take a couple deep breaths, go get some water, and we'll see you in doubles here shortly. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Into the second singles match, and Daniele Pinto heads to the table with a good bit of pressure on his shoulders, knowing that his team's currently trailing 3-0. Benjamin Brossier, as he left the arena yesterday, thought that his weekend on the table was over. He was just going to be a spectator today. He was going to be inactive with Ojo Onaolapo taking the spot. But with Ojo's injury, Brossier goes back to work. Benjamin got a 3-0 sweep over Jeremy Hazin in yesterday's match, and on Friday got one game against Koyo Kanemitsu. Brossier serving first.
See some good forehand power from Pinto. Brossier's placement's going to have to be on point.
stylistically, do you view Pinto as having an edge here?
Yeah.
Why?
Mainly because Brossier is more comfortable kind of a little bit back from the table. We saw it against Jeremy Hazin when they played this weekend. He kind of plays really comfortably at that mid distance, but against Pinto you need to play quite quickly and keep the pressure on. Good example there from Brossier. I mean, if you can do that and hold that position consistently, then perhaps he can apply that pressure, but you need enough speed to stop Pinto from finding forehands across that backhand 2/3.
Oh my!
1-4.
Brossier went on the attack, feeling like the point was probably over, and came right back at him.
Unbelievable. Kazakh love that one. Oh, Brossier fires right back. These guys are going for peak precision. Excellent placement from Brossier.
Whoa! Brossier with 2 in a row.
Brossier perfectly anticipated Pinto looking for the step around. Sent the ball the opposite corner.
Four.
That's not a yellow? Apparently not.
No.
Five, 4.
Just trying to understand, Matt. Make me smarter. That's what you're here for.
Ah.
Great stuff from Brossier. He's totally flipped this game around.
4,
Really
6.
making the ball move a lot too. Yeah, there are some things in table tennis that you can't really predict, and outside of course, of the actual rules of table tennis, there's plenty of room for interpretation from different officials, so you're going to get varying degrees of strictness in some areas more strict, some areas less strict.
6-all. And a really entertaining first game.
6.
Pinto has finished above 500 in singles every weekend he's played in the league except the first. He's got that streak on the line right now. He went 1 and 2 against Przeszepa in his first singles match yesterday.
6-7.
3 straight points for the Italian. He's the only Italian in the league, right?
Yeah, there are not too many Italian players playing in foreign leagues. I think he actually goes back to Italy after this for the Italian national championships, which is a qualification event for the national team, so.
This weekend will be a pretty nice warm-up for that event. Brossier back up by 2 as these players trade barbs back and forth.
You can see actually on Flint's right there is PK Fransen. He was the coach of the Dutch Olympic table tennis team. And he lives in Colorado now and coaches with Tim Wong. So he's actually come here from Colorado to support Tim, which is really cool.
That was very cool. This is Tim Wong in the 3rd singles match against Dan Gonzalez. A lot of twists and turns in this first game of Brossier with a slew of game points. And he only needs 1.
11-7.
The 4-0 lead for the Florida Crocs. Said earlier, they needed 20 points in this match to even up the standings with Princeton. Long way to go, but they are right on track so far.
What about Daniele Gonzalez? Yeah, he was at the Olympics. What year? 2020, not 22, because that was 2021 maybe? Yeah, that's cool. A little fun fact for you. Years from now, people will remember Tokyo 2020 happened in 2021. Very cool, very cool. What was the other play? I thought you had, okay. In terms of players making living, these players are making living. We talked about that a little bit. Players are making up to $2,000 in one weekend without any bonuses, and they all get bonuses for winning every game they win. And there's more to be won at the end of the season. So a lot to look forward to. People are flying in from all around the world, over 20 countries represented here, including Italy, and you'll be happy to know France, for your very own Benji Brossier!
Set for game 2 between Daniele Pinto and Benjamin Brossier.
Win to serve, 0.
Our Winter Haven weekend winds down.
Brossier's court coverage on the first point. Unreal. Gets all the way back across and plays not just a backhand on the table, but a backhand winner.
Florida bench enjoying it.
Brossier getting in those forehand counters close to the table.
2-1.
Today's the warmest day of the weekend outside here in Winter Haven. Took some nice walks the past couple of days, saw a bunch of gators. Did not see any Crocs though outside of the arena. Ever since Florida had such a great start to the season in September in Daytona Beach, and they introduced the Croc Chomp, reminiscent of the Gator Chomp, it made me wonder, you know, do Gators and Crocs both chomp? The answer is yes. So it is an acceptable use of the Gator Chomp.
How much research did it take for you to figure that out?
3-2.
It's not about how much, it's about learning the details. Do you know the biggest differences between alligators and crocodiles?
Yeah, it's salt and fresh water, isn't it?
2-4.
Alligators are generally found in freshwater habitats. Crocodiles can inhabit both freshwater and saltwater. Alligators are usually darker in their color of their skin, whereas crocodiles are usually a little bit lighter. if the skin color is obscured and maybe you just see the snout, alligators have the wider U-shaped snout, whereas the crocodiles have more of a V-shaped snout. But more to the point, when their mouths are closed, if you can see teeth with the mouth closed, it's a croc. If you can't see any teeth with their mouth closed, it's a gator.
I can tell you, if you're close enough to see a teeth in a crocodile's mouth, just run. Don't think about anything that Evan's just said. Just get out of there.
Alligators native to the Americas, crocodiles find them all over the world, Africa, Asia,
Australia.
Americas, and Australia.
Saltwater
Yes,
crocodiles.
New Zealand? They're Crocs in New Zealand? Anyway, consider that your lesson for the day. In the Venn diagram of alligators and crocodiles, there are some similarities.
4, 6.
But
Thank you
there
very
are
much.
some key differences as well.
Thanks for that, Sir Attenborough.
Anytime. Meanwhile, Daniele Pinto trying to even up this match at 1 game apiece. Got a 6-4 lead.
Pinto getting on the forehand.
Now, would you like to know the difference between wind and breeze? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going there. Brossier taking his time before this big serve. He needs this point. Pinto raising his level.
Yeah, picking up the speed. Earlier timing. And the backhand to finish it too. Typically we see Pinto playing a lot of forehand. Brossier coming back into the table as Pinto slowed down on the forehands.
By the way, gators and crocs sometimes inhabit the same, environments, the same habitats, which can create conflict. There's a kids.
It's about to be a conflict in this commentary
There's
box.
a kids movie out there about a gator and a crocodile like, wanting to be friends, and society trying to hold them apart.
It's game point.
Brossier saves 1. Brossier saves 2.
10-7.
And he blocked down the line there. Florida locals love to see it.
That was nice. That's 3 straight for Benji Brossier. And he's got 2 serves now to try to create a golden point after trailing 10-5. Chicago taking a timeout to allow Pinto to get a breather.
Former U.S. national champion, currently coach of the Chicago Wind. Learning some cool stuff over here. Fun
The
fact,
second one and the third one is where you have the
$100,000
opportunity,
prize
not the
money at
first
the
one.
end
The
of this
first one he's
season
using
for the
your
winning
power,
teams, for the
or you're
top
missing.
teams.
So just
All
spin it.
sorts
He
of
doesn't do
exciting
anything. He
stuff.
gives it back,
A lot of
and then you
people
can
been
go
asking
stronger.
me, what's the story with Carolina Gold Rush? I was wondering the same. I actually just learned why Americans speak English. I mean, among other languages, which is pretty exciting. But Princeton
Be calm,
Revolution
be
is
free,
part of that.
clear
Why
your mind.
Carolina Gold Rush? Well, the first gold rush before people moved to 1849 California happened in the Carolinas. There you go. Fun fact.
It's
Pretty
important the
impressive.
first one, if you make a
Other than
little
that,
bit slower a spin, it
I've got
doesn't
all
mean your
sorts of
feet are
fun
slow. It
information.
means you're
Anything
still very
curious
fast, because
about,
the
you can let
second
me
one,
know, but
you have
right
to
now,
go.
the
Okay?
pressure is really on. Daniele Pinto puts up what? 10-6? Benji 2 points away from a golden point. Let them know whose swamp this is, Florida.
Eight, 10, Crocs.
Brossier with a couple serves on his paddle. These are must-score points for Florida. Otherwise, Chicago will even up this match. Oh, return into the net.
10.
10-9. Oh my goodness, a service error
11-9.
to finish the game.
Second game.
Brossier was down 10-5. He came so close to forcing a golden point. But this serve would not crawl over the tape. And Pinto has the wind on the board. Rubber game coming up here in second singles in a moment.
Exciting times indeed. Some big, big play out here. Tell me your name, Patrick. Okay, tell me your history with table tennis, Patrick. Recreationally. Have you ever used a professional racket before? Are you cheating off of Ron Spencer? You're looking to his paper for the answers? Have I? Have I? Yes, you have. Okay, I used one. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so you guys, if you know Ron Spencer, you're already in. That's good. That means you can get anything you need in table tennis. Raise your hand if you'd like to learn more about table tennis and how you...
First time in a while that we're seeing a rubber match here, Matt. Last 3 matches in the Princeton-Carolina match were all 3-0 sweeps. Gorak and Hanim was a 3-0 sweep, so finally we got 1 game apiece. Pinto and Brossier. It'll either be a 5-1 Florida lead heading into the doubles, or Chicago will have a little momentum and be back within 2 at 4-2. Brossier serves first and scores first in game 3.
Very nonchalant backhand to finish that off.
Zero, 2.
Pinto driving Brossier way back off the table.
That's ridiculous.
3-1.
Slight clip of the edge there, which he apologizes for afterwards, but
Don't apologize for a good shot, Benji.
Three-two.
Pinto looking to move Brossier around more. Takes him out wide to the forehand. That cross angle really helps drive him further back from the table.
Two, 4.
4-2 lead for Brossier as they go to the towels.
2-4.
Pinto twice dropping the ball shorter.
3-4.
Mixing things up here. You can see how much court Brossier is having to defend. I mean, some of these rallies he's as far back as DeSantalan.
Big reaction there. You have to wonder, Matt, if part of the thinking of having Brossier play the past 2 days and have him not play against Chicago was the fact that he was swept 3-0 by Pinto earlier this year. Now he's in a position to take 2 out of 3 for his team.
6-3.
Thrust into duty with Ojo out with an injury.
Brossier turns things around, but can't get the job done. Pinto again continuing to mix in drop shots and more powerful forehands.
Pretty impressive court coverage, even though he didn't win the point.
Brossier guides the line out to the forehand.
Brossier is closing in.
Flat ball from Pinto.
Solid performance from the Frenchman.
That's
back in game 1, or I should say in game 2, Pinto had a 10-5 lead. Brossier got back within 1. Now Pinto's trying to return the favor, save a bunch of game points. was called, I think. The
Let's
signal, and now we get the signal.
ten, 6.
Brossier lays out. He's still in the point. Pinto sent him the
10,
other direction.
7.
As soon as he leaves his feet, you know, if you can win that point, you're going to be in the top 10. Pinto, though, able to kill off another game point. Brossier still with a comfortable cushion. One more serve here for Brossier. 10 serving 7. That'll do it. Brossier takes 2 out of 3 and a 5-1 lead for the Crocs on a day when they needed to be good. They are off to a great start. Gorak with a 3-0 sweep, and then Brossier takes 2 out of 3 over Pinto.
I got questions since you're going to be all hydrated.
And we're now joined by Benjamin Brossier. Congratulations. That was an impressive performance, especially after what Daniele did to you earlier in the year. Let's go back to the beginning. When did you learn that you were going to play today and not have Ojo be in the lineup?
When did we learn that?
Yeah.
In the breakfast, Ojo sent a message. I'm injured. I felt something yesterday. I can't move this morning with my knee, so we learned that in the morning. Yeah.
I mean, you left the arena last night with the mindset of I'm probably done for the weekend. Was it hard to kind of snap back in mentally and be ready to go today?
I didn't have that mindset yesterday. I thought I will play today because I was doing a good performance this weekend. Okay, it was Danny or Mark or me on the bench today normally, and the coach didn't tell us yesterday, so I was prepared to play.
Gotcha.
And in a match against Daniele, obviously he plays a lot of forehand. How did you kind of build your tactics together to play against that?
Yeah, just like yesterday, I told you it was really important to focus on the small things I can control. And about Daniele, it was about like to make him confused about if he can take his step around or not. And so I play a lot of straight forehand with my forehand, try to change the rhythm also for him to make mistakes. That was the goal key.
Is it exciting for you when you leave your feet to dive for a ball and you get it back and the point continues?
It's exciting when I win the point. When I lose, I get pissed.
Well, you were on the verge of one there, but you got the game 2 out of 3. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Glad to have you
Thanks.
out there. We'll see you in the Golden Game.
Thanks.
Thanks, Benji.
Thanks.
And it's a good point by Brossier. It wasn't automatic that he was going to sit. They could have sat Gorak or Duran, who both struggled at other moments this weekend. But
Yeah, I was
First game.
in some senses surprised. I kind of expected that Duran might be on the bench today.
see Mark in a bit. Now it's time for doubles.
1.
Haneen and Tan playing together again.
See if Gorak can bring some of his singles form here into the doubles.
Now in the 4 previous matchups between Chicago and Florida, it's only been these 4 players playing doubles once. Gorak and Ekholm won all 3 games against
Emily and Kazaku, right?
Haneen
1, 2.
and Tan. That was in October, but 3 of those games, or I should say 2 of those games were 11-10. In January, it was Kazaku playing with Emily.
2, 2.
Gorak and Ekholm are 4-0 in doubles matches against Chicago, whoever they're playing.
3, 2.
start for Haneen and Tan. Emily Tan is 17 years old, heading into the home stretch of her senior year of high school.
3, 4. Five, 3. Six, 3.
This time Aircom drops the ball short.
4,
Giving
6.
Gorak the chance to come in and finish it with the forehand.
That was a swing reminiscent of the singles match earlier with Daniel Gorak and Sasha Haneen.
4, 7.
How about that? Chicago just stole that point. Haneen kind of had to matrix his way around the table just to get the ball back.
There's an opportunity there for Aircom. Gorak coming in with a forehand flick.
Five, 9.
Wow, 2 in a
5,
row.
10.
Gorak taking a look up there, looking for some divine intervention. And Emily
11,
Tan
5.
finishes it with
Game, win.
a forehand winner down the line.
And a strong performance for Emily, and Sasha could not earn a point in singles. But playing alongside Emily Tan in the doubles. Chicago strikes first with the help of a couple of net balls and shots like that. The Wind take game 1.
Crocs serve 0, 0.
For a second, I thought that might have caught the back edge of the table, but it missed. So Florida takes the first point here in game 2. Gorak serving to Tan. And a quick 2-0 lead. Do you like this order better for the Crocs with Gorak hitting it to Emily?
Yeah, I think so.
1, 2.
I think also Aircom's slower spinnier ball usually gives a lot of problems to players who like to counter.
3, 1.
Tell Emily's trying to bring the energy every single point that she and her partner win. Unless there's a sorry because of a net ball or an edge, there's a roar.
3-3.
Oh,
3,
they all even out.
4.
Four all here in game 2.
5-4.
Some of these rally situations, seems like Aircom's not really ready for the ball to come back.
Win serve.
Also feels like both teams are trying to roar louder than the previous team after a point.
Let's.
Did Ekholm move the table? Just the signage, I think. So it's a let. Replay the point, 5 all.
Definitely not up. Sasha with a grin. Aircom doing really well with the short game now. Daniel Gorak unloading that forehand.
He's been good today.
And this time Ekholm comes in with the forehand to start things off. Some better synergy between these two in the second game.
It's a good example of what the Crocs look like when things are going well in doubles.
6-9.
Tan missed it. 10-6.
Gorak.
Again, Gorak
Second game.
with a good forehand, and Florida has bounced back. Gorak and Ekholm take game 2. It's a 6-2 lead for the Crocs, and this doubles match is tied 1 game apiece.
Some good time in Florida, has competed in USATT for a long time, might be a good guy to talk to. I want to make sure you have someone to play with locally, and you're not the only one. A lot of people love playing with their family and don't know where to play. I want to change that. I think the league wants to change that. For those of you
Game 3 underway. Enzo never shies away from the camera.
Sitting up there at the back of the stands with Carolina Gold Rush teammate Romain Laurence. No pressure for them. Sitting here watching this final match.
1-1.
Not that they're under too much pressure in their current position anyway.
Seen a lot of Gorak's forehand. There's a glimpse of the backhand. Effective shot as well. Misplayed by Tan.
1-3.
Caught off balance. That's more like it from Chicago. The wind could use more of points like that.
Trying to pick that ball up a little low in the bounce. Gorak's looking really good out there. Most of the occasions he's gotten and found those forehand opportunities, he has ended points outright.
Tim Wong, Daniel Gonzalez. Third singles match of the day here in this Florida-Chicago showdown. On deck.
5-2. Crocs. 2-6. No! 3-6. Seven, 3. Crocs.
Might have been the rally of the weekend.
What a point.
So many shots on that rally looked like they would be the last shot of the rally as they left the racket, and they kept on going.
Emily Tan had the hardest time there, having to deal with those difficult high balls.
Good placement there for Hani in 7-5. It's tough to ask Wong and Kaku to both pull off 3-0 sweeps, so if Chicago wants to have a lead going into the Golden Game, they basically need to get this game here. Otherwise, they need the pair of 3-0 sweeps in the last two singles matchups. By the way, Matt, it did just hit me that when Sasha Hanin and Emily Tan won game 1 of this doubles match, it officially guaranteed that Princeton would head into March in 2nd place in the East.
7-9.
Florida gets the rest of the points here. They could get back within 1, but Princeton will be in playoff position heading into Lawrenceville, New Jersey, mid-March.
Going in for the forehand flick again.
So Gorak and Ekholm drop game 1, but come back to win games 2 and 3. Gorak and Ekholm 5-0 in doubles matches this year against Chicago. And it's a 7-2 lead for the Crocs.
That's a long nickname. We're going to have to shorten it up. How about...
Joined now by Matilda Ekholm of the Florida Crocs. There was a lot of pressure on your team today, not just you, but your entire team after losses the past couple of days, after what Princeton has done. How pleased are you by what you and your teammates have done so far today?
I'm very proud of the guys. They're really giving their best. We've had a tough weekend so far, but I feel like they're really strong, and I really felt the pressure today. We have to win this. But yeah, it's a team effort, so we're still fighting for sure.
And you guys today in this doubles seemed very much more composed than a lot of other matches you played. How did you feel about the flow of this match? And it really felt like you guys kind of like the rhythm that you were working on. You kind of had a good idea of each other's pace and how to work together more.
Yeah, today Daniel was definitely taking a lead in pushing us forward, because I felt like I played really bad in the beginning, but he kept pushing me, and after some time I could find my game a little bit better, and yeah, we were just a little bit better, though they were playing really well too.
Over the course of the season, you've seen all sorts of matchups in the Golden Game, and you've played, what, 18 Golden Games now. How do you approach the Golden Game at this point of the season?
Well, it's still very, very nervous. So I feel like I have to go home and practice a little bit this kind of tension. I don't know how to achieve it, but it's clearly the ones who are like more calm in those situations, obviously, but also the team spirit plays such a big role.
Well done. We'll see you in the Golden Game. Thank you, Matilda.
Thank you so much.
All right, this third singles match features the two-time U.S. Olympian Tim Wong and Florida's Daniel Gonzalez, who hails from Puerto Rico. Gonzalez had a strong Friday night effort against Matthew de Santalan, winning 2 out of 3 games.
Big win.
The sun is out. Gonzalez's guns are out. And
Gonzalez. That's what Sean has aptly named him.
What do you view as the keys to this match for each player?
Tim's really good with spin control, but he's started to play a little bit more aggressive in recent weeks, playing MLTT. But I think shutting down the offense from Gonzalez. I mean, we've seen what he can do when he's fired up and he's hitting big forehands. Pretty devastating. So the challenge for Tim is to try and play good control and keep the ball difficult for Gonzalez to attack against.
Good start for Gonzalez.
0-2.
Still 6 more games, but Florida playing like a team that knew they had to put up a number today. Like a golfer that knew they weren't going to tie it up, but knew they had to put up a 61 or a 62 to have a chance. They are making a bunch of birdies right now.
Pretty interested to see how this impacts Mark Duran going into the last match in particular. Tim gets himself on the board. Tim has a very steady pace into the rally. Generally tries to play with more topspin brushing in his shots. And there's Gonzalez with the serve and attack.
Right now we're at a pretty incredible streak. Every time Gonzalez scores a point, you and I receive a text from Sean O'Neill. Pretty much point for point, text for text.
1-5.
Five-1 lead. It's a good thing you and I both have unlimited texts.
You only need unlimited texts if you intend to reply, Evan.
Not sure if that's true.
2-5.
Receiving, that would count too if you didn't have unlimited, I think. At least at some point. Not sure. No one cares? Let's move on.
Let's.
It's all Gonzalez right now.
6-2.
Moving around like a man in charge. He's got a great hook angle on that forehand. Took Tim Wong almost up to the umpire stand.
Six, 3.
So Timothy Wong closing the gap a little here.
Break there for Tim Wong.
8-4.
Just when he was gaining a little headway. Falls back behind by 4. After this weekend, only 3 more regular season weekends. The inaugural MLTT season before championship weekend, where the teams will battle for $100,000 and the first ever MLTT Cup. You excited to get a picture with the cup, Matt?
Hadn't thought about it.
I'm excited. for you.
Oh, you said, yeah, do you want me to take you the picture for you?
4-10.
You can have a picture with the cup.
Game points for Gonzalez.
Oh, that's a big play from Tim Wong.
10.
Especially the backhand in the middle of it all.
These guys are really hitting the ball hard. That's game though.
11-5.
Gonzalez, from start to finish, was the better player in game one. See if he can keep it going. The Crocs just guaranteed themselves a lead heading into the Golden Game. And it's looking like it's going to be a large lead. Every point counting for the Crocs.
Every game that is played is worth 1 team point before the Golden Game. Now, because it is round-robin format this weekend, if your very own Florida Crocs cross the 11 mark, they get 11 before the Golden Game, they would have technically won the encounter here. But, more importantly, they're still looking to collect points. For example, a 21-0 victory is way better than an 11-10 victory. It's how many points you get at the end of the season. Top 2 teams advance, where East meets West in the semifinal playoffs. Any questions so far?
Time.
Yes, quick question.
So Daniel Gonzalez continues to just play really high-level table tennis.
All right.
Playing with
Time for
passion
game number
and
2,
energy.
Tim Wong versus Danny Gonzalez.
And really fantastic precision. They add it all up.
Second game.
He's won 3 of the 4 games he's played over some pretty good players. Descent Alon for Princeton and now Tim Wong for Chicago.
Gonzalez just
0-1.
in great form this weekend, especially on the forehand. I think one of the big factors also is that when Gonzalez is playing more control, he's able to handle the spin and the pace from Tim quite well. That makes it more difficult for Tim to pick up any easy points. He's really going to have to work for these. Tim looking like he's trying to motion himself to keep his body weight down and forward instead of bringing the shoulders back up. Very important in controlling topspin, especially with the backhand.
With Florida's strong performance here today, Matt, the Carolina Gold Rush are not going to mathematically clinch a playoff spot this weekend. That is not going to happen. However, they're going to be pretty darn close. feel like Tim Wong is 1 or 2 adjustments away here from turning this match around?
Guess it really depends what the adjustments are. And certainly some adjustments would help. A lot of it comes down to serve and receive, spin and placement. I think once they get into the rallies, if Tim's a little bit off balance at the start of the rally or a little bit out of position, it gets pretty difficult for him to turn things around.
Too good.
There.
6-5.
Gonzalez with that little top spin hook serve short to the forehand. Tim opting to try and drop the ball short. Popped straight up.
Gonzalez almost puts his nose on the table before he serves.
6-all.
Different players around the league have different pre-serve rituals.
I think the serve is where you'll see the most kind of creativity. Table tennis sometimes can be quite technically rigid in terms of how you have to hit the ball, but the serve, there's some more room for changing things up, changing actions. Gonzalez just
7.
sending that ball straight at Tim Wong.
Wong hanging around here in game 2. He's doing it quietly.
Yeah, he's got to get in and be more aggressive.
Wong finds himself with an 8-7 lead now. Here Emily Tan shouting words of support. Eight all.
Drop from Tim Wong, drifting half long there.
Wong really took his time before that last serve. Did not pay off. This almost becomes a must-score point here for Tim. Gonzalez went for it, missed it. 9 all.
9-9.
And that drop drifts long again.
Then 9.
Let's see Tim trying to receive short, but
That's game. Daniel Gonzalez gets to the finish line in back-to-back games against the U.S. Olympian Tim Wong. And it's now a 9-2 lead for the Florida Crocs. Best day in a while for Florida, and they really needed it.
Because of how big, fast, and how much space the players are using. Also, normally your proximity, how close you are to the table, is not quite this far away because you're not watching from bleacher stadium seating. In the house, you're right near your table. But these players, they get low, so the table guys really have to be ready to move and not just reach for the ball, but playing the tricks. Going around, tricks with the waist.
Matt, just when you thought that perhaps Florida had truly lost its mojo, not to mention its ojo, here they are up 9-2. And we'll see what Mark Duran can do against Alex Kazaku. One more game here for Wong and Gonzalez. 9 points added into the 193 they had coming in. They're currently at 202, 11 behind Princeton. 10 more points still up for grabs here. These 4 more games in singles and then the 6 points available in the Golden game. And this is a pretty strong statement that Florida's making today. Heading into the last weekend of the season, there was a world in which they were, 15 points behind.
yeah.
Right now, it's much more likely they'll be 4 or 5 points behind, which is not an insurmountable lead by any margin. And I'm curious to ask you this. How does Florida's success in the first 3 singles matches, along with the doubles, impact Mark Duran, do you think, as he heads to the table after a tough couple of days for him personally and for the team? Could the momentum that his teammates have gotten actually help to transform his confidence a little bit, do you think?
Yeah, I kind of tried to get an idea of that from Matilda as well. Obviously, I'm curious. I don't know. I can't say whether... I mean, I'm sure the Florida Crocs would hope that some of the pressure being alleviated off them early will help Duran to ease back into his game, but yeah, he's definitely been off this weekend, and I think the Florida Crocs need him to show up. I mean, if they can shut Chicago out before the Golden game even starts, it's going to be pretty decisive for their ending their weekend campaign. Long serving half long beforehand. The players switch ends, and it's Tim 5-3 in the lead here.
Maybe you would disagree with this, but I don't feel like Chicago necessarily came out slow today or came out playing poorly without focus. I just feel like they've been outplayed by a team that's been really locked in and, you know, kind of a Florida team that's on a mission today.
In some regards, I agree. I think their players definitely could have made more of an impact, especially I think Sasha in the opening match against Gorak. I mean, even Pinto as well. I think just tactically they weren't quite there.
Five.
Gonzalez tying things back up. Missed high ball from
That stings. Gonzalez within 4 points of a 3-0 sweep. Gonzalez finishes the sweep. It will guarantee Florida's got the 5-point maximum lead going into the Golden Game.
Let's 7-6.
Something about matchups. I mean, Florida's had Chicago's number pretty much all season long, and that has not changed today.
Clips the back edge.
Back in September was the only time that Chicago outplayed Florida in regulation. It was an 8-7 lead for the Wind going into the Golden Game, but the Crocs took the Golden Game 21-19.
6-8.
Last three results have all been the same score, 14-7 to the Crocs. After 8-7 narrow wins in regulation, this has been far more one-sided today. Wong still within striking distance to try to salvage a point here for his team. Nope.
9-7.
Sees the opportunity to step around and counter. It's definitely there for him. Gonzalez 1 point away from a 3-0 sweep here.
Daniel Gonzalez with a strong performance here in Winter Haven. And the Crocs have a 10-2 lead. Gonzalez, 3 straight over Tim Wong, 11-5, 11-9, and 11-7. See if Mark Duran can keep it rolling or if Kaku can switch the momentum a little bit before our last Golden Game of the weekend.
This swamp right here, I love it. Man, if I were related.
Impressive stuff from Florida's Daniel Gonzalez. Mark Duran getting ready to go, but Dan, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
That was a really strong performance and a strong weekend for you overall. What was working for you this weekend?
I mean, I have been training a lot these past few months. I know my start of the season wasn't strong, but I keep believing, I keep training, working hard. And that's it. I mean, just believing in the work I have done.
All right, very important follow-up question. You just undid your sleeves.
Yeah.
Can you show us how you roll them up so they always stay?
Yeah,
Because
I
some of
just-
us roll up our sleeves and they don't always stay.
Because you roll it like this. The key is to get this part.
Actually, the key is just to
Right.
have massive arms, right? That's the trick.
Maybe that will do also, but if you do this part down, then it won't come off.
Going back to the match, coming up against someone like Tim, obviously he spins the ball quite slow. It's very heavy, but the pace
Yeah.
is slower.
Yes.
How did you feel? Obviously, you hit a lot of great forehands. How did you feel going into that match, knowing that he was going to play slower? Did you feel confident that you would be able to control the spin and to counter, or did it take you a while to adjust?
I mean, yeah, I know how he plays. We've been playing together since maybe 2015, I've been training in Japan, so their people is very fast. Also, so I have no problem if it's too slow, so I can adjust. Yeah, I have a lot of time. By the way, I love your jacket, man.
Thank you.
One piece is rolling.
Before we let you go, you clearly have let the sleeves down. You'll relax for a little bit, but you got to stay mentally sharp with the Golden Game. What
Yeah.
will you do between now and the Golden Game to be ready?
Support Mark, and I'm gonna keep active. After a while, I'm gonna keep active. So
All right.
that's it.
Well done, Daniel.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
See you later.
That was the interview that I've been waiting for, the story of the sleeves. Now Kaku versus Duran. Final
I was just-
singles match of the
just
weekend.
waiting all weekend for someone to compliment my jacket.
Well, you haven't worn that same jacket all weekend.
No, I haven't. I'm
Mixed and
usually
matched.
wear my MLT t-shirts.
So what is the story of this jacket?
It's a one-piece jacket. It's a Japanese anime. I'm on screen. But they're actually made by Steve Aoki, the DJ, has a clothing brand and very limited run clothing. So I didn't get the one I wanted. This is my second choice, but it's a nice jacket.
It is a nice jacket, and it's chilly in this venue today.
Surprisingly, yeah. I honestly came to Florida thinking, do I really need to bring a jacket with me?
Glad
but
you did.
I am glad. Kazaku straight to the body of Mark Duran. This is Alex Kazaku's been in the situation where he's had to keep the team alive on a few occasions. He's going to have to win all 3 games to do that.
It's a great effort from Mark Duran.
There he is. There he is.
How did he steal this point?
I always say if Mark Duran had a kitchen sink, he would probably throw it in there as well. There is some confidence there. I've seen, in terms of body language, a slightly more deflated Mark Duran in days 1 and 2 of this weekend. He's always fought back hard in the Golden Game, but he's just struggled to capture his best table tennis.
Oh! 4-5.
Kazaku's got some firepower as well. One of the bigger hitters in the league, especially with that forehand. 35-year-old Romanian.
Oh! 6-5.
By the way, I just want to throw this out here. Before we get to the Golden Game, in the 3rd game of this final singles match, I'm going to ask Matt Hetherington for his official Super Bowl prediction. So stay tuned for that.
You're going to have to remind me who's playing, because
I'll be happy to.
I generally have zero idea.
Five, eight.
Good deep serve from Kaku. He needed that point. Takes it with authority. Kaku back within 1. Tied up.
8, 8. Win.
If you're Mark Duran, you cannot let the doubt seep in here. Sometimes you've got to tip your cap at your opponent too. 4 straight for Chicago's Alex Kaku. 5 in a row now.
8, 10. Crocs.
Wow. Alex Kaku putting on a show to close out that game with 6 consecutive points, each more impressive than the last.
Duran really set him up for that round the net shot.
So Alex Kaku trailing 8-5. Storms back 6 consecutive points, including the around the net post forehand winner to take game 1. Mark Duran able to bounce back. Take the first point of game 2. Kaku made him earn it. 2-0.
0-2.
There is a world where Kaku can sweep this thing, and then all of a sudden Chicago is very much still alive with a Golden Game win to spoil Florida's weekend in a big way.
Not as far from reality as you might think. If there's a man to do it, Kaku's the guy right now. I think style matchup wise, you put your biggest header against a player on the other team who plays most defensively.
There is still the reality that the team that's had a lead going into the Golden Game has won 16 straight Golden Games, which is not a coincidence at this point.
No.
3-3.
Tied 3-all now.
Kaku picking up momentum here in the second. You'd forget to mention that I've trademarked your stats now. I've decided to call them Evanalytics.
4-4.
Teams with a 5-0 lead entering the Golden Game are 25-2.
5-4.
We are getting ready for the 70th Golden Game in LTT history.
4-6.
Teams entering with a lead are 54-15, including 16 wins in a row.
5-6.
Good serve from Kaku.
6.
Fooled Duran just enough. And we're tied 6 apiece. NLTT season continues with the penultimate West Division weekend 2 weeks from now in Everett, Washington.
Kaku overhits the last ball.
7.
You been to Seattle before, Matt?
No, I haven't.
It is a lovely city.
Is Everett close to Seattle? Or?
It is close to Seattle.
But
you know, you're not going to be staying at the Space Needle exactly. But I don't know if the Kraken are in town that weekend. Maybe you could catch a game. Do you know what sport I'm talking about?
No. I've got cheat codes, so
6,
I'm going to say
9.
hockey.
Who told you?
I can't be naming names, Evan. It's a whole wealth of knowledge in my ears right now. Oh, don't you dare. That's unreal.
9-7.
Fun point.
As if Duran's shot wasn't insane enough. 360 on the lob from Duran. He just baseball bats away
9-7.
the ball down the line, and Kaku. Unbelievable. Duran now with 4 game points.
No!
11-7 for Duran in game 2. That clinches the win for Florida. They've got an 11-3 lead. Wow. The 6 points that'll be hanging in the balance in the Golden Game will be massive for the Crocs. So Florida's got the win, but they need the Golden Game too.
Good question. So, I know you guys came a little bit later. Just one of the unique things about NLTT, you do not have to win by 2. It's a pretty easy question to ask. At 10-10, instead of weeks, you have something called golden points. And what I'm going to do is whenever I see 10-10, there's only going to be one opportunity for it left today. Because in the golden game, in 2020, it was the ultimate golden point. But if it gets to 10-10, I'm going to say, you know what it is. That means 1 point will determine the winner of the very last singles game. Right now, Florida Crocs have 11 points, but it's not win or lose because it's not knockout, it's round robin. 1 more point before
So
the
Mark
golden
Duran
game. This
gets
is the
1 point
final
for the
singles
Crocs.
game.
Third game.
Responding to an 11-8 loss in Game 1 with an 11-7 victory in Game 2.
Guaranteed win for the Crocs.
Yeah, but it won't feel like a win if they don't win the gold in Game 2. And again, every point counts, including this one.
0-1.
Duran just content to move around the table, just blocking. It's almost challenging Kazaku to try and hit high-powered shots on the table, many in a row.
The difference between Princeton and Florida going into the final week into the season is going to be somewhere between 2 points and 9 points. We'll see exactly what that difference is going to be. That's ridiculous.
3-1.
I appreciate how Kazaku enjoys his good shots.
As he should.
Yes, indeed.
4-1.
I think there's a certain irony in
Timeout, Crocs.
the pose that Kazaku makes when he puts both his fists up.
Solo para
Bicep
que
show.
retomes tu pensamiento.
It's the same ironic celebration we saw from Kai against Kazaku.
Hubo un punto de suerte y otro muy buen jugado. O sea que no ha habido nada que tú hayas hecho fuera de lo normal, ni que él haya hecho fuera de lo normal. O sea que seguir jugando la misma estrategia. Acuerdo. Vamos. Se puede, vamos.
Sometimes it looks like heavy backspin and it's empty. It's dead. They like to keep the serve half long, right near the baseline for a second bounce if they can. Occasionally they'll change it up. Back from the timeout, here we go. Alex Kazaku to serve.
4-1.
Kazaku battled against Enzo Angles here on Friday. Took a game off Enzo.
Oh, Kazaku
5-1.
fakes the ball out wide after a little short interaction during the net. Little switch ends. Friendly little tap on the arm there from Kazaku.
1-5. One, 6.
Would you call that a snake from Kazaku, or was it not high enough?
Yeah, the height doesn't necessarily matter. It's more about that. It's kind of like an S-shaped
hitting it off
action
the ground.
under the table where you can't really see, and then you have to try and figure out if the ball's going to bounce left or right.
Is there a way to see the spin on the ball before it bounces?
No, you kind of have to try and pinpoint what direction the racket's moving in when it hits the ball, even though you can't actually see the racket. Kazaku on a roll right now, just laying down the building blocks of confidence in his game.
3-8.
Oh my.
There's a good example of one right there.
3.
Quite a game for Alex Kazaku. He's pulled out a couple snakes and he's won both points. 10-3 now.
3.
I think Mark Duran's going to be channeling his inner Samuel L. Jackson at some point tonight while he's trying to sleep.
11.
Alex
3,
Kazaku
2, 1.
with a convincing performance in Game 3. He matches what Chicago had produced in their previous 4 matches, so it's 11-4. Florida has won the match, but again, don't need to remind you how critical these remaining 6 points that are up for grabs are, especially for the Crocs, who currently sit 9 points out of the playoff position behind Princeton. Can't say enough about what Daniel Gorak did today to set the tone for the Crocs. He got them off to such a fantastic start. He was responsible for 5 out of a possible 6 points with singles and doubles. And that's just not the production they've gotten from him recently. It makes a massive difference.
Yeah, and we talked about that in the first match, about whether we thought him setting the tone would make a difference for this Crocs team, and it clearly has. Brossier locking in 2 points as well. He's been a consistent force for the Crocs, whether they've been doing well or not. As you indicated, Gorak back on the table in the doubles. Him and Matilda Ekholm looking pretty composed today. Speaking of composure, the guns were out for Daniel Gonzalez and his 3-0 sweep against Tim Wong. So, excellent performance from the Puerto Rican. And then we ended with an entertaining match with some of the best rallies of the weekend, including this one right here from Alex Kazaku, a no-look finish. That video is going to do the rounds online. Go into the golden game. The Crocs have the win guaranteed, but it's the points they need.
Let's determine the order with the commissioner of Major League Table Tennis, the one, the only, Flint Lane.
Thank you, Adam. The Florida Crocs are leading 11-4. There are 6 points on the line, which will be vital in the playoff race. Since you'll be starting with 5 points, you'll be picking your first player. Coach?
Alexander Kazaku.
Alexander Kazaku is your number 1.
Mark Duran.
Mark Duran is your 1. Your 2?
Daniel Gorak.
Daniel Gorak, your number 2. Coach?
Sasha.
Sasha Kanan is your 2, and your 3?
Daniele.
Daniele Pinto is your 3. Coach?
Matilda Ekholm.
Matilda Ekholm is your 3, and your 4?
Daniel Gonzalez.
Daniel Gonzalez is your 4.
I'll do Timothy Wong.
Timothy Wong is your 4, making Emily Tan your 5th, and I believe Benji Brossier is your 5th. Good luck, coaches.
Thank you. Good luck.
Well, certainly a curveball late from Frank Arias. Ekholm versus Pinto, Gonzalez versus Wong, Brossier versus Tan in the 3, 4, and 5 spots. We begin with a familiar matchup. It's what we just watched in that final singles match, with Kazaku winning 2 out of 3 games against Mark Duran. Kazaku takes the table, trailing by 5 points. He's got 3 points to try to carve into this deficit.
Just missing the back edge on the
Tentative from Duran.
Kazaku taking
Having
the first.
Kazaku out here against Duran to start could really give Chicago potential to fight back here.
Big point from Duran.
Mark Duran reaching out in front.
Does know how to step things up for the golden game. Oh, he gets the same play twice in a row. Alex Kazaku can only smile and walk to the bench.
Down the line. Does lightning strike twice in the same place?
Gorak swept Honey in 3 straight.
Got
A combined score 33 to 19. Sasha serving, trailing by 6. Gorak.
Crocs are liking that forehand corner of the Chicago wind.
And Daniel Gorak now one
Gorak's
serving
ability
ace.
to come back to the table like he's been playing this whole time, just staying hot. Right on cue, off the net, and there, Honey gets on the board in the golden game.
8, serving 2. Soft touch. The hands
game
of
coming
Daniel
into play.
Gorak from closer to the baseline gives them a 9-2 lead.
Oh, just ridiculous from Daniel Gorak. What a performance today.
10-2, the Florida Crocs racing ahead. And
Now we get quite an interesting matchup here. It's between Matilda Ekholm and Daniele Pinto. They're both left-handed. Serve and receive is going to play an important role here for both of them.
The
Pinto
powerful
gets him with the
forehand comes in and the counterattack attempted, but finds the net. 3 serving
Pinto
10.
came to the table trailing by 8. A golden sweep would cut the deficit in half.
I'm not sure what happened on the serve there. It kind of staggered a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional or...
In this moment, 10 serving 4.
Oh, nice placement from Ekholm. Crafty.
The opponent, waiting calmly and patiently to spin down the
Great
line.
things
11
happen when
serving
Matilda
4.
steps out and uses that reverse pendulum serve. Even against the male players, it's so hard to read. Hard to
Ekholm earns the
receive
split.
on.
Excuse me, Matt.
Great job by Matilda.
It's a beast of its own. Staying loose now, Tim Wong comes
split
in.
keeps it an
And
8-point
Daniel
lead.
Gonzalez for the Florida
Gonzalez
Crocs,
versus
4
Wong.
serving 12.
Gonzalez swept Tim 3 straight in the third singles match. 33 to 19. Tim Wong just can't put that point away.
On the receive from behind the table, fishing until he could counter. 4 serving 13. The help off the top of the net, but a good opening backhand as Tim Wong politely takes the 5th point. 13 serving 5, Danny Gonzalez to serve.
2 serves here for Gonzalez. Brossier and Tan are up next. Not to say Emily can't score points against Brossier, but Brossier has the advantage. You would think Tim Wong continues to struggle against Gonzalez.
As Danny Gonzalez makes it 14 to 5. And Tim Wong with a good receive, leaving it near the baseline. 6 points now for Chicago Wind. Coming in for Chicago Wind, it is Emily Tan entering the arena. And Benji Brossier.
Good serve from Tan.
The underspin serve.
Totally uncertain return there from
Emily's backhand. 7 serving 14.
Tapped it back as if...
And Benji from behind deflects all the fast flat shots. 15 serving 7. The serves with Benji Brossier. You'll see Emily Tan putting the pressure on, smashing deep for the
Scrappy is
backhand.
always out there,
15 serving 8.
going after every attacking opportunity she can get.
So Tan and Brossier split, still an 8-point lead for Florida. Obviously, splits are not going to be enough for Chicago. Final 4 points of the weekend now for Alex Kazaku and Mark Duran. Duran took 2 out of 3 earlier in the Golden Game after Kazaku took 2 out of 3 games in their singles match.
Be interesting to see if Kazaku guards his forehand more.
Nope.
Top edge of the racket, and it doesn't come to the other side. 9 serving 16. Perfect squares, and the serve with Kazaku.
Caught the edge. Oh, a handstand and a tumble from Kazaku. The gymnastics meet breaking out here.
Nothing that a little edge of the table can't inspire.
No balance.
17 to 9.
It's like a floor routine.
As wide as comedian.
Too good from Kazaku. He's clearly been Chicago's MVP today, without a doubt. Got a lot of help. Duran still earns the split. Still an 8-point lead. Daniel Gorak in position to close out this weekend for the Crocs.
Daniel Gorak on the receive. Sasha Vanin to serve 10-18. One step in the right direction.
Florida closes this out. There'll be just a 3-point difference in the race for second place heading into the final weekend of the season between Princeton and Florida.
The follow-up from
points for Hanin, so turns out Gorak will not be able to close this out.
Daniel Gorak now, hometown hero, coach to half of the stadium, 18 serving 12.
His doubles partner Matilda will get a chance after these 2 serves. Well, 3 straight points for Sasha Hanin.
Good push receive. 18 serving 13. Daniel Gorak with the second serve at hand.
Final serve of the weekend for Gorak.
It's
a good one.
Had to get one off that big point for the Florida Crocs.
Well placed, well.
So Hanin earns 3 points, but it's still a 6-point gap.
The Italian stallion enters the arena with
She's had such an up and down season in Golden Games and in doubles, and joy and frustration moments.
Net. Let's serve, fair play.
Certainly be a big,
they will serve again.
big celebration for her if she was able to win this for the Crocs.
2 points away. Great return from Ekholm. It's 20-13. Florida needs just one more.
Now 7 Golden Game points.
Pinto with one big forehand to keep Chicago alive, but now he's got to handle Ekholm's serve.
A serve now and a second one if she needs it. Mati
Back on the
Ekholm
bench
at
from Pinto. Looks like he's
2014.
planning to backhand flick maybe.
That works for Pinto.
Top of the net and it stays on
Ekholm with a
Mati's
sour look
side.
on her face. It'll be Wong and
One more
Gonzalez.
serve for Mati Ekholm.
Pinto can keep Chicago alive. Ekholm trying to win it right here. Oh, caught the edge. Chicago not done yet.
Pinto looks like he committed to flicking the serve receive, and he did just that.
Pinto takes 3 out of 4. Now Tim Wong dig deep against Gonzalez, who's had his number.
16-20.
And Into the net. Wonder if we'll get a timeout here from Frank Arias. No signal yet. Interesting thing, if Wong could get us to 20 all, I think Chicago would have the advantage. Kaku versus Duran. Now we do get a Florida timeout.
Vamos. Lo que tú has estado haciendo, que tú le has ganado fácilmente. No hay por qué hacer más nada de ahí. ¿De acuerdo? Vamos a poner, es un punto, es un solo punto. Y él es el que tiene la presión. Poner la bola en juego y atacar con calidad en la pelota. ¿De acuerdo? Vamos. 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 Vamos.
Gonzalez with 3 golden points, golden game points left. Tim Wong with a second serve at 17
Gorak said he's got
points.
3 more chances. Only needs 1. Wong needs to win all 3. And Wong keeps Chicago alive again.
Tim Wong, 2 for 2 from 16-20.
It's really been a pretty one-sided match here, Matt. But for the first time, we're getting some late tension. Florida's got the win of the match, but oh, this 6-point golden game is oh so important. And it will not slip away. Florida able to close it out. One final croc chomp from Daniel Gonzalez as Florida takes it 21-18. And the stage is set for an epic Final East weekend a month from now in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, where Florida and Princeton will each play 3 more regular season matches to determine who goes to championship weekend and who watches from afar. 17-4 is the final score. Florida, after losses on Friday and Saturday, just like a month ago in Broward County, the Crocs figure out a way to get the job done on Sunday. Clutch table tennis from Daniel Gorak, and certainly Daniel Gonzalez as well had arguably his best weekend in MLTT. It's a solid team effort for the Florida Crocs today.
Definitely the performance they were looking for and the one that they were hoping for.
Table tennis. Follow on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Drive safely. There's no
I'm
more
gonna chat
sporting
momentarily
events to
with
watch
Frank
this weekend.
Arias.
All the table tennis is done, so go home, relax, sleep, and get ready for Seattle with MLTT. See you soon.
Frank joins us. Quick thoughts on the match and the weekend, Frank. This was a big one for you. You get 17 points. You're within 3 points of the playoff race. I know it wasn't the strong weekend you were hoping for overall, but a sweet taste in your mouth as you leave?
Of course, yes. Definitely we wanted it to be as close as possible to chasing Princeton in the place for the playoffs, and I think we accomplished it. It was a very tough match, but here we are. So just I think we are 3 points shy from them. So.
Which Daniel do you want to talk about first, Daniel Gorak or Daniel Gonzalez?
It's up to you. They both were absolutely great.
How is Gorak different today than he's been in other matches recently in your eyes?
I think a little bit of his confidence was back on today, and that makes a lot of difference when in those types of players.
What will your message be to your team heading into the final weekend of the regular season, knowing that the season is on the line?
Yeah, it's hard to. For the first time, we're not either leading or second place. We're now in third place, but as I always say, we'll fight every point back on March on New Jersey.
You have a pick tonight, the 49ers or the Chiefs? Who you got?
I have to go with the Chiefs because some of my coworkers are lives in Kansas. So.
Well, sounds good. Enjoy the game. Enjoy a trip home, and look forward to seeing you in New Jersey.
Thank you so
Frank.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well done. Florida victorious behind Daniel Gorak and Daniel Gonzalez. I'm going to pop the headset back on Gonzalez here just for one final quick thought. Obviously, this was a critical match. You clinched the victory with what you did in singles, but you really needed that golden game too, and it came close to slipping away. What's going on in your mind on the bench? Is it went from 19 to 13 to 20 to 18 there?
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, the golden game itself, it was pretty open, but at the end it became close. Of course, the nerves were rampaging, so I just stick with the game plan that I had in my previous match against him, so it was okay.
I know you were very pleased with your form this weekend. What will you do between now and next month to try to rise even higher?
Well, I have a flight to take at 6 in the morning back to Japan. I'm going to the World Championships in Korea, and after keep training in Japan and some other tournaments there, Japan, Korea, and the Grand Smasher in Singapore, I think.
I'm astonished with how table tennis players just go from one time zone to across the world. How do you manage that?
I am very jet lagged right now. I mean, right now for me it's like 4:30 a.m. So I mean, of course the adrenaline and everything keeps me awake. But as soon as the adrenaline goes away, I might be sleepy, very sleepy.
Well, the jet lag was one heck of a drug for you this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing you in New Jersey, and best of luck in Korea.
Thank you very much. We'll try to keep my form there.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Well, that'll wrap up this weekend in Winter Haven, Florida. You see the standings. Carolina comfortably in front. Chicago a clear number 4, but the race for the 2 spot, it's anyone's guess. Both teams 11-8. Obviously, Princeton's been better in singles. Florida's been better at doubles. And their 3 remaining regular season matches, of course, they're going to go head-to-head one more time. But all 3 matches will be critical in the race for championship weekend. Matt Hetherington for the final East Division weekend of the season. It was good times here in Winter Haven, Florida. Good to be back in the Sunshine State, and the Crocs get the win to close out the weekend. 17-4 over the Chicago Wind. On behalf of our entire production crew, the ultimate production team, working hard, long hours, and doing a great job as always, from our broadcast partner, Matt Hetherington, and for everyone with Major League Table Tennis, Evan Lepler. Privileged and honored to say so long, and to wish you a very pleasant rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy the table tennis, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody, from Winter Haven, Florida.